What is going on, traders? We got a few things to discuss, but this video will be quick. Like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get into the video. So I do apologize that I haven't put out a video in a while. That's because my computer was down and I had to get a new one. So I do apologize for that, but we are back. We will get a full schedule this week, next week, the following week, as long as I don't have any more technical difficulties. So let's get into it. So the only thing we're really going to focus on in this video is the SPY and the triple Qs. All right. Now, I'm not going to really get into much into my last video, but if you did take the trades that I mentioned in the last video, all of them hit except for Amazon so far. We're still waiting on Amazon to actually do something, but congratulations if you took everything else, especially Nvidia. I gave you guys a price target for Nvidia. I said 1150 is my price target on Nvidia, and so far we hit that target. Well, 1050 was my original target, and then 1150, and I still think Nvidia is going to head towards 1200, 1250 being the highest so far that I am looking at. So congratulations if you took this play. Absolutely beautiful setup. I won't get too much into Nvidia because right now it's just pretty much in Narnia, so there's not really much to go over, but I do expect a price target of 1200 sometime this week, maybe next week. All right, so be on the lookout for that. As far as the other plays go, congratulations if you took those as well. Pretty much everything took off. Still waiting on Amazon, like I said. So give you guys an update on that play. All right. If you like for me to go over more stocks or various stocks that you're interested in, feel free to comment below. All right, so let's look at the SPY. So overall, as far as the market goes, I am pretty bullish. Heading into tomorrow, though, I think it's going to be a little shaky. Now, tomorrow we got a few key events happening. Red folder news, 8:30 Eastern, we have GDP and unemployment claims, so that's something to look out for. I think that's pretty much the major catalyst heading into tomorrow, so I will be on the lookout for that if you are the type of trader to pay attention to news or anything of that sort. So looking at the SPY, right now we are at a key level at around 524. 524 is your key level. Why is this a key level? As you guys can see, we zoom out, rejection here, rejection, 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 so on and so forth. So this is a very key level. Even right here, let's zoom in. So even right here, we bounced here and then we tried to go up a little bit and then we rejected up here. So right now we're pretty much in this range between 530, 529 range and 524, 523.5. If we give up 523.5, then chances are we're heading towards that 520 level. Now, what do we want to see if we do give up 523.5 and you just so happen to be bearish? Well, for me personally, I would like to see a break, retest, and then a breakdown towards that 520. I don't think we're going to go much further down. If we do go further down, I really think that's going to be bad. All right, and hear me out. This is the reason why. So I tell you guys all the time about liquidated areas and just how fast a drop can happen or how fast a rally to the upside can happen if the area is a liquid, meaning there's no real structures in that area. So if we give up this range right here, so if we start giving up 519 and then we head towards this 515 level, we give that up, we're going to drop pretty fast. It's very illiquid in this area. All right, we're going to drop very fast. So I imagine news tomorrow or even Friday could cause that to happen, but I'm not really counting on it. Me personally, I think the market, if we do head further down, I think the market is going to bounce at the lowest of 520, 519 range. I think we're going to see a bounce there if we just so happen to head there. Now, this can all be a fake out and we could just start bouncing tomorrow. It's also important to note that we also have a gap here on the SPY. And SPY has a good habit of filling gaps right away. Now, I'm not saying that's guaranteed or 100% of the time, and it's always going to fill its gaps. But more often than not, it really tries to fill its gaps. So I do expect at some point a bounce to come in, maybe between tomorrow and Friday, maybe next week, especially considering that we have that Nvidia split. I don't imagine the market is going to tank too hard prior to that Nvidia split. So be on the lookout for that. So key levels again, 523.5, 524. Lowest I'm looking at is 520. I think we're going to see a bounce if we head to that 520 level. I don't think we're going to go too much lower. All right, the market may tease a little bit, but I think we're going to see a bounce there if we just so happen to head there, and therefore we'll start heading towards new highs. All right, so overall, I don't think the market is done as far as upside. I think I made that pretty clear there. All right, triple Qs. Same thing with triple Qs. I told you guys in the last video, as you know, even though that was long ago, that what's going to happen in the market is that anytime we see a dip, it's going to try to create more space. All right, what do I mean by that? So when we hit levels like right here, let me get rid of this here. So as you guys can see, we have this trend here. I told you guys that the triple Qs is going to try to hit this trend. This was when triple Qs was like 450 when I mentioned this in the video, I believe. But as you guys can see, this trend we rejected here. Okay, so rejection here or bounce here, bounce here. So you guys know I'm not making these trends up or anything like that. We bounced here, bounced here. We kind of acted like a magnet here, and then eventually it broke down. And now we're heading back towards that trend, or we headed back to that trend, and right now we rejected it. And what I think is going to happen is that we're going to create more space so that the Qs can go even higher. How do we create that space? Well, bears need to step in, or the market needs to drop, and I'm looking at about 450, 449, and then we potentially see a bounce higher. Lowest I'm looking at is about 446.8, 447, and then we see that bounce higher, and we can start heading towards 465. I already told you guys that 460 was my target in the last video. That was way before it even got close to 460. It was like at 450 in that video. So 460 was my original target. We hit that target. Now I'm looking at 465. Yeah, I don't think this rally is done. Until this Nvidia split is done, I don't see the market tanking too hard. So if I was to be like super bullish on any given area, I would be looking at this area right here at 446.8, 447. 450 if you want to count it as your psych level. As you guys can see, we rejected here, or we bounced here off this 450 level. We zoom out, we can see just how strong this area is. So we really need bad news in order for this to break down. And we do have news tomorrow, like I mentioned, and Friday. But for this level at 446.8, I would say 445 as your psych level. For this to break, we need some serious news. Rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, rejection, rejection, rejection. You guys get the idea, right? And then even when we broke through it, we retested and we bounced off of it, and then we hit this trend. Now we're rejecting the trend, and I think we're just going to see a little bit more downside. It's going to probably be painful heading into tomorrow. I imagine this news is going to drop us a bit. I'm not a fortune teller. Maybe we just immediately just skyrocket to the upside. That is possible, but right now I'm looking at some downside, and then after that I'm looking at a potential bounce. If we just so happen to give up 446.8, then I imagine we're going to get a little bit of liquid. All right, we're going to head towards that 440 level. If we give up 446.8, I would say 445 to be safe, because that's your psych level. Then we can head towards 440 pretty fast. All right, after that it can get pretty scary if we give up 440. I would say 439. Okay, 439, you give up 439, things get pretty scary, but we're not going to talk about that until or if that even happens. All right, that's really all I have for this video. Okay, usually I have a lot more, but I kind of like rushed this video, but the levels are all here from the last video, so you guys know I'm not throwing you any crap or just, you know, throwing you anything. Discord link is in the description below. We have been on a rampage as far as winnings. We're still in this Amazon trade right now, up about 86%. I imagine that's going to change tomorrow, but this trade is for June 21st. June 21st. We got 200 calls. I do think Amazon is due for all-time highs, so I will be on the lookout for that. Palantir, we bought some shares on that. Here is another trade we took profit on. Nothing crazy. TSM, we took $90 profit on that. It was nothing too crazy on that trade. IWM, this was a play. 200 puts on IWM, took profit on that. $206. Nothing crazy. PDD, $400. So yeah, as you guys can see, we don't lose too often. Okay, I'm trying to find a loss here. I'm not seeing any losses. AMD calls, we did 170 AMD calls, made a nice little profit off that, 100% off that. Baba, okay, so yeah, Baba we took a loss on. This is a trade we took a loss on. I was trying to find it. So as you guys can see, we don't take too many losses. I'll try to find at least one loss so you guys know I'm not like editing anything or stuff like that. But yeah, join the Discord. It's $30 a month. We don't lose often, like I said. The only trade I'm in right now is Tesla, 182.5 calls for May 31st. They were like $70 a contract, so nothing too crazy. That was in profit. We'll see how that turns out tomorrow. And then Palantir calls for Palantir calls for June 21st. They were like $9 a contract, nothing crazy. And then Amazon. That's pretty much all we're in right now. And yeah, so join the Discord. Discord link is in the description below. I do apologize for just not being around for so long, but nothing much has happened this week, thankfully. So, but last week I was really upset because Nvidia, man, Nvidia. But I did call it. I pretty much told you guys the target, and it went above and beyond. But that's all I have. Until the next video, traders. Have a good one.